Hey, Smart Authors, welcome back to another episode of the Smart Author Podcast. Today, I wanted to touch on a very interesting topic, and that is getting comfortable with the inconsistency of advertising. All right, so a lot of my clients, when we send weekly reports, we find that there's usually one fantastic week in advertising. There's usually two very good weeks in advertising and one terrible week in advertising. And if we look into the zoomed in version of our reporting, on a daily basis, things can look muddled, things can look confusing, daunting, like we're not getting results. And what it comes down to is that ads are inconsistent. And as much as anyone says that there's a dial that you can turn up and down and there's a tap you can turn on and off, the true nature is that ads can be inconsistent. We can also have extremely consistent times, but it's not always that case. And so going back to my comment before, we can find that there's several weeks in the month that are extremely beneficial to us. We can find that 1 or 2 weeks are profitable from an advertising perspective. One of the weeks is maybe break even or slightly negative. And then the fourth week is a complete train wreck, right? We're spending double the amount to acquire a customer, or, we're still getting the same sales or books sold. But ultimately, the average cart value, the people that are coming through and buying the book aren't spending money in our funnel. And this is a weird nature to get comfortable with. And so as we are running ads, as we are looking at the big picture, we kind of just need to zoom out a little bit. We need to look at our campaigns on a weekly basis, first and foremost, but then zoom out and take a look at how things are trending overall. How is the campaign going over a month? How is the campaign going over 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? And this is really why a lot of people, I think, get stuck in advertising, because ultimately they come to a place where they are looking at day-to-day results. And day-to-day results are so misleading on how things are performing. Sure, cost per clicks and CPMs and things like that may stay pretty consistent over time on a daily basis, but your cost per results, the actual people who buy your book and the money that they spend in your funnel is inconsistent. And there's so many other factors that come into place. And so as we are really running and scaling these kind of campaigns, it's very important for you to zoom out and take a snapshot of how things are performing in the long run. And it's always a recommendation when clients start working with us and with me at Smart Author Media, 3 months is really the indication, because the first month is a complete write-off from results. It is a testing and validation month for us. We need to try a lot of different things. Pretty much every marketer you speak to, besides Alan Soltanich, basically will tell you that they don't know what's going to work. And they might sell you on knowing, but ultimately no one does know. And that's a fact. People need to test, people need to validate. And so with the first month of running ads, we need to test a bunch of different targeting. We obviously have indications of what will work. We need to test a bunch of different creatives. We obviously have indications again of what will work based on templates and other clients and other ads and whatnot that we've run. And then the same is true for creatives. So the images and the videos that we run with the ads. And again, we kind of have an indication of what's going to work based on other accounts and things that are proven. And, I've spent over 500,000 on marketing books at this stage and sold, 25,000 books or more as well. So, with that in mind, I have a good indication of what is going to work for clients out of the get-go based on my proven winning ads. But I still don't know what's going to work for every single individual niche, right? Until I work in that niche and then I get an idea. And even then, one client in the property investing niche might not perform the same as another client in the property investing niche. So everything is nuanced. But as long as we stick to the course, we test methodologies, we test in a systemized process, we figure out what works, what doesn't work, and we continue to improve and spend more in the things that do work and continue to test. I made a few posts recently on Facebook where I was talking about 7 to 8 out of 10 ad creatives that we test don't work. But without testing in the first place, without spending the money, the time, the energy, the resources to create and test those ads, we wouldn't know what works. And I think that's the nuance of ads and the inconsistencies that they can provide. There's so much that goes into it, and you can't just put something up and hope it's going to work or expect it to work. And even then, with the things that do work, they aren't going to work all the time. They're not going to work for you 24/7, essentially, 7 days a week. They're not going to work for you every single day in the month. You're going to have the dips and the troughs and the highs, and ultimately over a month, over 2 months, over 3 months, over 12 months, etc., you're going to see the consistencies come into place. But don't expect that in the day-to-day. Anyway, I really hope you have success running your ads. And if you need my advice running ads, then absolutely check out smartauthormedia.com. There's a green button there to book in a call with me. And I'm more than happy to run through everything that you're doing right now if you are marketing and advertising your book. And I'm more than happy to give you a plan if you're not yet marketing or advertising your book. And it's essentially a $1,000 consulting session for free. There's no obligation to work with us. There's no obligation to do anything with us. Ultimately, I just want to give value, help you succeed. And if you want our help to implement that, then we can speak about that as well. But I'm not a salesperson. I'm just here to help you sell books. And if that's you doing it yourself or doing it with me, that's a win to me ultimately at the end of the day. So hope you enjoyed this episode around the inconsistencies of advertising and getting comfortable with that. And I hope you had a few takeaways. I can't wait to hear what you think below, and I'll see you on the next episode.